This is a terrific salmon cured with molasses. My friend Jean-Claude did it for years in his catering business. It does take a little bit of time to do it, but it's really not complicated to make. Here is how I did it. First, make the rub. Mix together kosher salt, sugar, cayenne, ground nutmeg, paprika, ground allspice, and some cumin. Add soy sauce and molasses and mix it all together. Spread a large fillet of salmon, about 1.5 pounds, and spread the mixture on both sides. You can do this while the salmon is sitting over a piece of plastic wrap. Wrap it tightly and let it set in the refrigerator for like 12 hours or overnight. Unwrap the cured salmon and pat it dry with paper towels. Transfer it to a wire rack and return it to the refrigerator unwrapped for another 24 hours to dry. Once dry, remove from the wire rack to a cutting board and cut into very thin slices. You can serve a dry rye bread with this, butter a thin slice of bread and stack them one on top of the other. Then cut the whole stack into thin fingers for a fun striped effect. Garnish the salmon with capers, rinsed minced onion, and drizzle with olive oil. Here it is, cured salmon in molasses. You see, it wasn't really complicated to do. And I'm doing many more fish recipes for you today. From easy to elegant, this is Essential Pépin. Today is the day of the sea. For the fisherman, or for someone like me who loves fish. And we're going to do tuna steak coated with a tapenade coating, a tuna tartar with marinated cucumber. We may even do some gravlax, then a poached salmon with a ravigote sauce, and eventually some skate or ray Meuniere with mushroom. So it's a big day for the fisherman. I'm going to start with the tapenade here. And I have different type of olive. I like Kalamata olive. I have the black cured olive. This is capers, as you can say. In Provençal language, in the south of France, capers are called tapenade. That's why we call tapenade the mixture with this. I'm saying that because very often people do a tapenade without the capers. You have to have capers in it. Those happen to be beautiful because you can see they are very, very small one, tiny one. Some larger one are less in terms of quality. Now the proportion there are not that important. So I'm putting a little bit of everything. You know, sometime in my tapenade, I put a dry apricot or a dry fig or half of a dry fig, just to, you know, to give a bit of sweetness and taste from the south of France. I think I lost an olive here, that's the one I was going to eat. And a couple of anchovy fillet, a bit of the oil, 2-3 anchovy fillet. That would be good in there. And maybe a clove of garlic as well. Up, garlic here. Cut the end of the stem. Or maybe 2 cloves here. I crush it a little bit. That will remove the skin. Here we are. Crush them a little more. And up in my tapenade. Okay. Black or white pepper, you know. And probably a bit more of olive oil on this. Now, the mixture that I'm doing here, which you call a tapenade, is usually a mixture that you do for hors d'oeuvre to serve with aperitif, you know, on toast. You put a bowl of tapenade and you eat with toast. But there we are going to coat the fish with it. Now you can do it different way. You can do it so that it's really in a very, very tight puree, or sometimes a little bit more coarse. I think I like it a bit coarse. So that should be about the texture that I want here. You know, like this. That's good. It's a strong seasoning, you know. I have a beautiful piece of tuna here, bluefin. I'm going to take the center of it to cut steak. And maybe I'll cut two beautiful steak like this. That's it. And then maybe I could cut slice of tuna about that size that you can pound to do like a carpaccio with it, you know, black. So I'm going to do a couple of those. With that part here, you have that big, thick, black skin here, which is like leather, you know. I'm going to cut those into dice to do a tartar with this. Back to my steak with the tapenade. I have a large skillet here, a little dash of olive oil. See, the amount of time that you cook it is going to depend on the thickness of the fillet here. And it's not that thick, so it's not going to take that long. And also on the amount of time that you want to let it rest sometime before you serve it. I put a fair amount of tapenade on top of it here, a good layer. I have enough for like 4 or 5 steak here. And then I'm going to put this tapenade size down to cook. Tapenade size down here, a little bit of salt that I want to put on top here. And you know what? If I cover it, what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to have enough steam from covering the fish so that I don't even have to turn it and cook it on the other side. So here I am going to have a little bit of wild arugula there to serve with the tuna. A little bit of the natural juice here. And this is, I have the tuna steak here with the tapenade coating. And we are going to move on to more of the tuna. Maybe I'll start with this. You could pound it, you know, with a piece of plastic wrap. There. Here. You can use the back of a small pan and it's fine. I mean, you see, you can have this and you think, this is practically, I have served this, you know, with a hot sauce, like a tomato sauce, something fresh. You put that on a warm plate, this on top, and your tuna is cooked. It is a nice way of doing it. So here, maybe we'll do it on this. I'm going to put some salt there underneath, pepper, put that underneath. See, this is very, very thin. You can arrange that on plate. For example, if I were to arrange that on a plate like this, I will put it on that plate, put another plate on top, put another one of those, do a dozen of this, and I'm ready for a party, you know. A bit of salt on top of it. And I have about, I would say, 2 ounces maybe at the most, 2 ounces of tuna here. So it's not too much, but of course good quality tuna is expensive. And you know what? This is quite satisfying this way. It's nice. And very often what we do also, I'm going to do a tartar, and you can use this, you know, to roll, to put it around your tartar. But for the time being, we're going to leave that here and move on to the tartar with those pieces here. Don't do it in the food processor. I tell you why, because it gets mushy and all that. It's much better when you do a tartar, salmon or whatever, and you do it by hand. So here I'm cutting it into like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that, pieces, but by hand. Now you notice that on that tuna here, I did not put any lemon. If I put lemon on top of that, or vinegar, or any of that stuff, this is acetic acid. If I put acetic acid on top, it will set up the protein in the tuna. That is, the whole thing will become kind of opaque, you know, and like cooked, and it doesn't look too good. Now, when you do a ceviche, for example, you do that, but people are used to that, and you don't expect the fish to look raw. It's kind of cooked by the vinegar. So here, let me do this. I will put salt, of course. I'm going to put a tiny dash of sugar, give a bit of sweetness. Some shallots. Very simple, I don't put too much stuff in it. I'm going to put Tabasco, maybe a bit of chive, and of course, a little bit of olive oil. That's your tartar. Okay, here is then the mixture of my tuna. You can put a lot of other things in it. And as I said, I could put a bit of vinegar now or lemon juice, but it will tend to discolor the fish itself. You know what I could put, however, if I don't want to put the lemon, I could put a bit of this lemon rind like this, and lemon rind like that, maybe in a small julienne. I am putting a bit of that rind there. So now, other garnish, I'm putting long strip of cucumber here. See, I can go directly. In that case, I leave the skin on just to give me the right color. When I get close to the seed, I turn on the other side and I start doing another of this. You do a salad that I do very fast here. Sugar on top of it, dash of salt, and red wine vinegar. Well, maybe a dash more. You let that cure for a couple of minutes, and that's absolutely delicious. So, let me put this here. You see, this is beautiful, but beautiful is not very important. What's important is that it is good. I can put my tuna in there. I could actually just pile it up in there. That's a hefty portion of tuna. Press it in there. Good. Now, I could, if I wanted, put a piece of this cured, put it around, or I could put one of those, or the garnish around. If I really want to be very fancy, then I can even extend it to do some caviar with this. I have what we call here a paillechnaya. Paillechnaya is pressed caviar. To be called caviar, it has to be sturgeon, remember? So I have sturgeon here, but at the end of the roll, you know, when you have eggs, there are three types of sturgeon. The sevruga, the small one, the ossetra, somewhere in the middle, and the beluga, which is the very large one. You can take it this way. It's almost like, you know, the consistency of a paste. You can see it's very different. You can roll it. You can do all kind of thing with it. And then I can cut it about the size of my tuna. I could put that on top, so you have like a special box here, a special surprise. Come on, come out. It's better not to serve it with the... Okay, here we are here. I garnish. This. We want a couple of capers here, as you see the capers right there. Dash of olive oil. And this is the tartar closed in with the pressed caviar on top. Now with this, you know, whatever I have around, like I have a mushroom here, I could use a few slices of this. If I have a radish, I love radish, I would put radish on top of this. I have a scallion here. Maybe I'll check it, a few capers as well. And I have a beautiful carpaccio here. And we are going to move on to salmon. Nice fillet of salmon here, boiling water, that's it. I like my salmon cooked most of the time in water. I like to do the steak about that size. That would be about a 6 ounces steak. With this, we're going to poach it very simply in water. There, salted water is the best. That's it. So now we're going to do a kind of what we call a Ravigote sauce, which is a very simple sauce that we put on top with all kind of raw vegetable and vinaigrette like, you know. So I have scallion, I have capers. This is a nifty thing to have little zest of lemon. You know, it's going to take me 2-3 more minutes to finish this. That's going to be enough for my salmon, so I'm putting my salmon to cook. So, a lot of pepper. I'll be generous with pepper. You know, when you have freshly ground black pepper now, that's where the essential oil of the pepper comes out, when you just freshly ground the pepper. Onion. I'm going to have the lemon juice, which I'm going to strain through my impeccably clean finger. Now we want maybe a couple of cloves of garlic in there, finely chopped. You crush it first, and then you can rock it. A puree of garlic, you know. Okay, I see that my salmon is boiling. I'm going to reduce that to just kind of a bit of a simmer. Parsley and a couple of tomatoes cut into dice. I have 2 pieces of salmon which are thinner than the other, and I'm sure that those are ready. But like at my house, I would serve the uncooked one to my wife and take the other one to me, who doesn't like it quite as rare as my wife. Now you can serve that with any kind of poached fish or other. I mean, you can serve that at the base of a salad as well. Time to serve the salmon. I'm going to bring it here to show it to you. You can see, you know, you can see that the center of that salmon is basically still quite raw, in fact. My wife would like it this way. For me, I would like it like this one, which is, I think, slightly raw, you can see in the center, but not quite as much as the other one. Okay. And then on top. So even, you know, if you crack it a little bit, who knows? No one is going to be able to see it here. That's it. And this is my poached salmon with Ravigote sauce. I'm going to make another fish now, which is probably less known to some people. It's the ray or skate. Meuniere with mushroom. It's a fish which is still relatively not that expensive, and which is getting more available all over the place. I mean, when I was a kid, it was a common fish because it was inexpensive and very, very tasty. There is no bone inside, like, you know, tiny, pricky bone. There is just like a piece of cartilage in the center of that fish. And when you poach it, even when you saute it, usually you leave it in. So you can buy it all cut like that and skin, or do it yourself. You have to cut the outside and watch out. On one side here, I have the black skin, and on the other side, the white skin. Especially on the black skin on this side, there is a big pricker here, and you can really puncture yourself. This is a finer skin, you know, and sometimes people even leave that skin. I tend to remove all of it. So you cut it into wedge, this way. That's it. And you can see in the center of this, there is that piece of cartilage here. Now, I'll tell you one thing. When I was a kid, my brother and I fought to get the cartilage and eat it in the center of this, you know. So it's good to eat, but I mean, certainly when you poach, like when you poach it in water, when you come out of the liquid, usually the skin, the flesh rather, slide right from that cartilage. So we'll remove this at the end here, and then the other side here. And one side is thicker than the other. That is, that cartilage is not exactly in the center. If I were to bone it out, I have a bigger piece of fish on one side than on the other. Some oil. So here, salt and more salt on the other side. Freshly ground pepper. And now we dip it into the flour here, directly in there. I remember in Long Island, years ago, going fishing with Pierre Frenet, Craig Claiborne, and we used to go to our fishermen who were there catching fish, and they would get some skate like that somewhere, and they would just reject it or use them to put in lobster pot to use for lobster, you know. Now, the blowfish was the same thing. There was a bunch of other fish that people didn't eat and now are quite expensive, including the monkfish, for example. So this is going to take about 4 or 5 minutes on one side, and about the same amount on the other side. That's it. A few more minutes on this side, and this is it. It's ready to be served. See, now it's cooked. Very nice. Here I have an extra piece here. I'm going to put on a plate to show you the way it comes out. And in this here, now I'm putting my mushroom. I'm going to saute mushroom. With a bit more olive oil and some butter. You can see that when you're eating, this will slide from the top. Well, you see, this is the meat here on top. And underneath this, you will have that cartilage. It's barely cooked, it's still slightly pink in the center. But you see, this is a cartilage bone that are in the center, which you can eat. It's a bit tough, but it's not like a bone, which is going to prick your throat or anything like this. I can already put some parsley on top. Even if I have hot butter on the parsley, it's good. I want to test a couple of the meat here. I love skate. Really special. Very moist. Not, not fibrous and not dry. Here, a bit more green, lemon juice, and then, those mushrooms are just sauteed, those are regular white button mushroom, just saute a couple of minutes as you see. That's it. And this is the skate Meuniere with mushroom. I do love fish. I eat it a couple of times a week. And the good life is enjoying a glass of wine in your kitchen and cooking the food you love, especially when you have a lot of friends around. Happy cooking. Happy cooking.